Few names are as notorious as Mohammed Khan, Mo Dollars. He built a reputation as the mastermind for syndicates needing to wash dirty money, moving vast sums out of the country through audacious, sophisticated schemes. Al Jazeera's 2023 Gold Mafia expose revealed Khan as the architect of one of Southern Africa's largest money laundering and gold smuggling rings, exploiting global finance to serve criminal empires. His story is a stark warning. When criminal genius meets systemic corruption, the very foundation of a nation's economy is at risk. At the core of Mo Dollars' operation was a sophisticated scheme known as merchanting, a process that masterfully created the illusion of legitimate international trade. On the surface, it looked like a bustling network of importers and exporters, moving goods across borders and fueling the economy. But beneath this facade, every transaction was carefully orchestrated to hide the true nature of the money flowing through the system. Khan's network preyed on the vulnerable, buying up identities from people desperate for cash. These stolen identities became the keys to opening dozens, sometimes hundreds of bank accounts. With full control over these accounts, the syndicate could move money at will, layering transactions to make them appear routine and above suspicion. These so-called ghost accounts formed the backbone for a web of fake companies, fronts like PKSA and Salt Asset Management. On paper, these firms appeared to be thriving businesses, generating endless streams of invoices for goods and services. In reality, the goods never existed, and the invoices were nothing more than elaborate props in a financial stage play. Each invoice told a convincing story of imports, tobacco, textiles, electronics, complete with shipping documents and customs forms. These details masked the true purpose, to disguise the movement of illicit cash as routine business, making every transaction seem legitimate to outsiders. The paperwork was so thorough, it fooled not only commercial banks but also the South African Reserve Bank. With every stamp and signature, millions in dirty money were justified as cross-border trade, slipping past regulatory scrutiny. By manufacturing a seamless paper trail of non-existent trade, Mo Dollars could transform vast sums of illicit cash into seemingly clean capital. With just a few keystrokes, money moved invisibly across continents, hidden in plain sight within the global financial system. Meanwhile, the real account holders remained completely oblivious. Their identities had been hijacked and woven into a high-stakes criminal enterprise, leaving them vulnerable to financial ruin and legal trouble. This elaborate illusion was just the first step in a global laundering machine, one that would stretch across continents, exploiting loopholes and weaknesses in the world's financial systems. With ghost accounts and fake invoices in place, Mo Dollars' team moved to the critical phase, getting money out of South Africa. Illicit cash was deposited, then declared to authorities as advance payments for imports, using forged paperwork. This allowed millions to be wired to offshore shell companies in Dubai or Mauritius, all under the guise of legitimate trade. The banks, seeing standard transactions, approved the transfers, never suspecting the goods didn't exist. Once offshore, the money was clean, ready for investment or discreet return to clients. This process ran on repeat, using new accounts, new companies, and new fake goods each time. The sheer volume created a constant pipeline for siphoning wealth out of the country. Mo Dollars' method exploited the trust at the heart of banking, turning the system into a criminal laundromat. As the operation grew, fake invoices for goods couldn't justify the massive sums being moved. The solution: gold, high value, easy to transport, and perfect for laundering. Khan's companies documented loans to Dubai firms, which then used the funds to buy gold from Zimbabwe. In a single year, nearly $100 million flowed through this method, disguised as legitimate loans. Smuggled gold bypassed official channels, arriving in Dubai to be melted and recast, erasing its origins. The gold was sold on the open market, converting dirty cash into clean, untraceable currency. This two-pronged approach, financial deception and physical smuggling, made detection nearly impossible. Gold became the ultimate tool for laundering vast fortunes. No scheme of this scale works without inside help. Mo Dollars' real power came from bribing bank officials, compliance officers, and IT staff at major banks like Standard Bank, ABSA, and Sasfin. For monthly payments, these insiders approved fraudulent transfers, overrode alerts, and wiped digital traces. They acted as a human shield, neutralizing security systems and erasing evidence. This wasn't occasional corruption. it was a business expense essential to the operation. The banks became unwitting conduits, their staff turning a blind eye for a price. The result, a parallel corrupt system operating within the legitimate one. This deep-seated bribery exposed the vulnerability of even the most respected institutions. $Mo didn't work alone. His network spanned continents, clients, and shell companies. His most prominent clients were the likes of the infamous Gupta family. Simon Radland of Gold Leaf Tobacco allegedly laundered hundreds of millions through Khan's system, and not to mention India's most wanted man, Dawood Ibrahim, who is an organized crime figure suspected of involvement in both the 1993 and 2008 terrorist attacks in Mumbai. Multiple reports allege that Mohammed Khan has connections to former President Jacob Zuma. One source explicitly claims that Khan knew Zuma so well that the former president had visited his home, and other sources also indicate that Zuma visited Mo at his offices. However, Khan himself has denied meeting Zuma or the Guptas in the Al Jazeera documentary on the gold mafia. Trusted lieutenants like Howard Baker and Andrew Gravenstein managed logistics and paperwork, while offshore companies in Mauritius, Switzerland, and the US obscured the money trail. Banks, infiltrated by bribed staff, became critical infrastructure for the network. After the gold mafia expose, banks suspended implicated employees and launched investigations, but the damage was done. Khan and Radland denied wrongdoing, but the evidence revealed a symbiotic relationship between organized crime and financial wizardry. The network's reach showed just how deeply financial crime can embed itself in the global economy. Let's break down how Mo sophisticated money laundering operation unfolded on the ground step by step, revealing the intricate web of deception and coordination that made it so effective. It all began when a criminal syndicate, flush with millions in illicit cash from activities like smuggling, fraud, or drug trafficking, would approach Khan and his team for help. These were not small-time players, but organized groups looking to move vast sums without attracting attention. Khan's operation would swing into action. His team sourced ghost identities, often stolen or fabricated, and used them to open dozens of business bank accounts across different banks. Instead of depositing large sums that might trigger alarms, they broke the cash into smaller amounts, making frequent deposits at ATMs and branches to fly under the radar of anti-money laundering systems. To justify these deposits, they created a paper trail of fake invoices and contracts for goods that never existed. These documents were carefully crafted to look legitimate and submitted to banks as supposed advance payments for imports, giving the appearance of normal business activity. The next step involved corrupting the system from within. Bribed compliance officers and bank insiders would look the other way, or even actively approve the suspicious transfers, ensuring the money could be sent offshore without interference. When the sums grew too large for simple wire transfers, the operation shifted gears. Khan's company would draft fake loan agreements, wiring funds to Dubai under the guise of legitimate business. Meanwhile, gold was smuggled out of Zimbabwe, physically moving value across borders in a form that was harder to trace. Once in Dubai, the gold was melted down and recast, erasing any trace of its origin. It was then sold to jewelry shops or dealers, converting the dirty money into clean, legitimate revenue that could be freely spent or invested. With the money now laundered, it was ready for global investment, whether in luxury real estate, high-end vehicles, or discreet transfers to clients' accounts around the world. The funds could now circulate in the legitimate economy, almost impossible to trace back to their criminal origins. This seamless blend of physical smuggling, document forgery, and financial fraud allowed dirty cash to be transformed into untouchable wealth, hidden in plain sight among legitimate assets. In this way, South Africa's criminal elite were able to move fortunes out of reach of law enforcement, living lives of luxury while their crimes remained buried beneath layers of deception. Money laundering might seem like a distant, faceless crime, but its impact is deeply personal and far-reaching. These schemes aren't victimless. They drain South Africa's economy and hurt ordinary people in ways that are often invisible at first, but devastating in the long run. Every rand laundered is lost tax revenue, money that should fund schools, hospitals, and infrastructure. When funds are siphoned away, classrooms become overcrowded, hospitals lack resources, and vital projects stall, leaving communities without the services they desperately need. The laundered funds don't just disappear, they fuel organized crime, making large-scale criminal activity profitable and sustainable. This strengthens criminal networks, allowing them to expand their reach and influence, and making it harder for law enforcement to keep communities safe. South Africa's reputation suffers on the world stage, scaring off foreign investors, and making international trade harder for legitimate businesses. As confidence in the economy drops, local businesses struggle to survive, leading to job losses and economic stagnation. The damage is real, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Only by confronting money laundering head-on can South Africa protect its people, its economy, and its future. The story of $Mo is a call to action in the fight against money laundering. This battle isn't fought on battlefields but in the digital corridors of global finance. Stopping criminals like Khan means dismantling the infrastructure that lets corruption thrive. That's all for this episode. As always, be safe, stay blessed, and don't forget to like and subscribe. On to the next one.